Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and a special hello to anyone who got their period today, because I can tell mine's gonna start within like 10 minutes of filming this. But I told myself I was gonna film it today, so I'm filming it. With the topic being homophobic TikToks, that might not bode well for the people I'm gonna watch, but maybe be entertaining for you, so I guess that's good. So let's just jump into it. Should we start with the Betty Who clip? Okay, some context for this. Betty Who is part of the queer community as far as I know, but she misidentified as a lesbian like over 10 years ago and still talks about it and has said some horrible stuff on a podcast recently. Honestly, this one might be one of those ones that I pause as we go, so sorry if that's annoying.
Because I'm 21 years old, that I have to say I'm a capital L lesbian.
Right.
And you fell in love with somebody. I know, like I'm a queer person who was like, I'm probably going to grow up to be gay. And
first of all, nobody made you identify that way. You don't have to identify as a capital L lesbian if you're not. If you misidentify, hey, that's fine. Not everybody gets things right the first time. But acting as if you had to do that is just not correct. And thinking that you'll end up with a woman doesn't automatically mean that you are a lesbian. It could mean you have a preference for women. It could confuse you for sure, and I don't want to say that it wouldn't, but it does not mean you have to identify as a capital L lesbian, as you say.
then I became obsessed with a boy.
Right.
And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. It doesn't mean that I am not queer and that I don't represent or like love the queer community and exist in the queer community.
Yeah.
So all of that in itself is true. You know, she fell for a man, that's okay. She misidentified, that's okay. She could still be queer. She could still be part of the queer community.
And so I urge, I think a huge theme of this entire conversation for both of us has been to allow ourselves to make the choices that feel right in the moment that they feel right, because a huge part of queerness is like identifying yourself and putting yourself under alphabet mafia. It's like, which one are you? And if
her unironically using alphabet mafia is weird. When somebody is clearly joking and everybody's giggling and it's like funny, that's cool. When you're a queer person being like, oh, all these labels and you gotta identify under the alphabet mafia, it's weird. And I know some of you so far might be like, oh, she's queer, she's joking. Just wait. I know it's annoying that I've seen this before, but come on.
you change that, I will never forget it, you know?
Right.
That's not what happens when you misidentify. Sure, sometimes people are kind of upset or disappointed because it does, in a way, enforce the rhetoric that lesbians just have to meet the right man. But in actuality, it doesn't actually matter. You're allowed to mislabel, you're allowed to relabel, you're allowed to say, hey, I got it wrong. But to sit here and act as if the queer community is your enemy because you mislabeled is not a good talking point, especially with everything the queer community is currently going through. To get on a podcast in 2025 and talk about this, wild.
So I think that as much as, like, it's funny that Renee Rapp is like, you'll never catch me dating a man. It's like, go off, queen. Like, I love that for you.
Right.
But I also hold space for her in 10 years if she goes, oops, I met the love of my life and it's this man I didn't meet.
That clip right there is the one that's been circulating the internet. Well, one of them. Because calling out an out and proud lesbian celebrity who is making it very clear that they are a lesbian, they do not want to be with a man, and who has talked very openly about their struggles being a queer person in the South and finding their identity, is so beyond disrespectful. To name drop a lesbian celebrity and go, I'm holding space for you if you find a man in 10 years, is the work of the devil. What is wrong with you? It's one thing had she just said, people shouldn't be scared to get things wrong and relabel. That I could 100% agree with. However, she's taking it so far already and it gets worse.
It's
Right.
like, that's okay. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be illegal for you to fall in love. It's kind of like, now we've come so far that our community is so strong that now it's like a crime to be straight.
This is the other clip that's gone viral from this podcast. You know what is legal? Being straight. You know what's illegal in many countries? Being gay. Even in the US right now, they're petitioning the Supreme Court to overturn gay marriage. They are banning queer books. And you're gonna sit here and say, the community has come so far and is so strong that now it's like illegal to be straight. What in the conservative rhetoric bullshit talking point are you fucking on about? Sorry, we're starting with one that grinds my gears and has been for about a week now. Do you understand how privileged you are to be with a man? You're acting like you're being villainized. Now here's the kicker. I don't know if she'll mention it in this video, so I'm gonna mention it right now. Here's the kicker. She met the boy that she married at 21. She is 33 years old. She misidentified as a lesbian at 21, has been with this man over a decade, and is getting onto a fucking podcast to talk shit about the queer community, name drop Renee Rapp, have this fucking attitude, and she has been married to a man for over a decade. She mislabeled over a decade ago. The fact that she thinks she has any right to speak on this topic, specifically how she's speaking about it, is absolutely absurd to me. I'm not saying she's not queer, although I would maybe say she's not a part of the queer community with the way that she doesn't see what's happening. If you are a part of the queer community in the sense that you are a part of community, you would not be saying this shit right now. This podcast wasn't 2 years ago. This podcast is recent, like within the past month. I'll put the exact date on the screen. But oh my God, we'll keep going.
Right. Honestly, cheek. You know, it's like, I do love that we've come full circle, punishing people for being hetero.
Nobody's punishing you. You are making yourself look like a fool. I cannot believe these words coming out of this person's fucking mouth. Betty who? As in, who the fuck are you? To think that you can sit here and say this shit? It sounds like you have some kind of issue within yourself for ending up with a man, and I'm not saying you don't love him and you don't want to be with him, but it sounds like you have some resentment there where you then need to place it on everyone else, being like, you all think that this was a bad idea and that I'm a bad person for doing it. I don't know who the fuck you were. You've been with him for over a decade. Good for you, but there's no reason to sit here and spread this bullshit fucking Fox News rhetoric type shit. My God. Sorry, I'm extra mad about this one.
Feels like sort of correct. No, just kidding. Yeah, I really, my ultimate hot take is that I ride for Jojo, and I want her to find herself and peace, you know, and it's just like we all have so many opinions.
So the fact that was about Jojo Siwa, nobody was mad at Jojo Siwa for misidentifying. I mean, I'm sure somebody in the world was, but that was not the main focus. The main focus was Jojo Siwa cheated on her partner on live television with a man, denied the cheating allegations, and then got with him right after officially. I personally never wanted Jojo Siwa in my side of the community, if I'm being honest. Jojo Siwa has a track record of doing some terrible fucking shit. And I understand she went through a lot as a kid, and none of that is okay. But at a certain point, you have to start taking responsibility for your own actions. And Jojo Siwa has done some fuck shit, okay? And she has also cheated on past partners that were women with women. And people were mad about that too. Like, it's not Jojo Siwa ends up with man that has people up in arms. It's Jojo Siwa cheats on partner on live television that people have a problem with. Oh my God, I just can't right now. I fucking can't. And another thing to mention is Betty who, the person that's speaking in that podcast, like I said, like she said, she's married to a man. It is so much easier to navigate this world if you are a queer person married to a man. And that isn't me saying you're not queer. That isn't me saying that you cannot face adversity. That's me saying that being married to a man makes it easier for you to live in a society where they are actively trying to eradicate homosexuality. I don't think that's a hot take. And so to get online and act like you're the victim because you fell in love and married a man, absurd. Okay, we gotta move on to a different one. Otherwise this video is just gonna be that. Yeah, I'm homophobic. The fuck you gonna do about it? And it's a man posing with all of his muscle looking angry into a camera. Like, that's a threat. That is truly him being like, yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you. Yeah, you have a problem with it? And people are just posting that shit online, thinking it's fucking hard. It's just disgusting. I mean, I wanna have better words for it, but what better word is there? Like, you sit alone in your room and you get out your camera and you set it up and you put on an outfit that will show off your muscles as well as they can, and you probably just got back from the gym, just finished doing a pump, and you're like, oh, this is gonna fucking get them. I'm gonna make sure they know that I could rip their head off with my bare hands if I wanted to. And yet the problem is trans people in restrooms. I don't know, I feel a lot more unsafe with this guy than I would a trans woman.
What'd you say last time?
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, what was that?
What?
What'd you say when we walked past?
Oh, I just said gay.
Yeah, what about it?
Nothing.
Said, oh yeah, that's
Oh,
gay.
just started with that.
Yeah, don't do it in public. It's not very nice. I don't do it with my wife for that
Oh,
reason.
it's alright. Oh, yeah, it's
You don't hold your hand with your wife?
No, I don't try to be a bit too passionate. No,
So this is passionate?
yeah. I reckon it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
So what's wrong with it?
No, I'm a Christian. I just don't believe in it. Yeah.
How about you?
We're just both Christian. Yeah, it's just what we believe in. I'm Christian.
So you don't hold your hand, your wife's hand in public?
Oh, sometimes I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah. But yeah, we don't really agree with it. So
Well, I believe tonight may exist in the field, so.
yeah, right. Yeah, fair enough.
Alright. See y'all.
There's nothing I love more than when somebody confronts a homophobe and they immediately get nervous and backpedal. Like, you can hear it in those guys' voices and they're like, the way they're standing, that immediately they knew that they were in trouble. They knew that they were clocked, and they were like, oh, how can I try to make this less controversial? How do I make this less of a conflict? Even though they're the ones who did it, they're the ones who started that interaction by seeing two men holding hands and going, gay. Well, I just don't believe in it. Nobody fucking cares. You didn't have to say anything. If you don't like it, why would you say something to further bring it to attention and create a situation where now that person is speaking to you, and now you're seeing it and dealing with homosexuality more than you would have if you just kept walking. If you just kept walking, you wouldn't have even had to have that interaction. You would have been even further from the homosexuals. In the way that he's like, I don't hold my wife's hand in public, and then by the end of the video, he's saying, well, sometimes, yeah, I do. It's because he's caught off guard, so he's lying. And then he's getting caught in his own lie because he didn't expect himself to be caught in a situation where he was lying. And calling holding hands passionate? People hold hands with their friends. People hold hands with their siblings. People hold hands with their mom. And you're gonna sit there and call it passionate? This is the exact type of weird shit that these kinds of Christians conjure up to try to excuse them not wanting to see something. Crazy thought. You don't want to deal with it? Look away. The person recording the video summed it up perfectly, being like, well, I have the right to exist. And the guy has nothing to say to that. He's like, yeah, I guess. I mean, obviously you would prefer we didn't, but we do, and that's not to go away because it upsets you. But yeah, I like that video because I like how they immediately get nervous. I think that part's funny.
What are your thoughts on gay marriage?
I don't believe in it.
You don't believe in gay marriage?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
Why are you forcing your lifestyle over on me?
Who's forcing you to be gay?
Joe Biden and his crew.
Joe Biden's forcing you to be gay?
No, not forcing me. Make sure you get that right. I ain't gay and ain't got nothing to do with it, okay? Don't ask me.
No, but I thought you're saying he's forcing you. He's forcing you to be gay, or he's forcing you to be, what's he forcing?
The whole party is forcing their lifestyle over onto us.
Nobody's forcing you to be gay. It's just so people can live the life how they want to live without persecution.
They are putting in schools that it's okay to be that way, and it's not. It's ungodly.
So in the Bible, in Leviticus, it says, if a man lays with a man, he should be put to death. Also in Leviticus, it says, if you spill your seed, you need to give 2 turtle doves to a pastor or priest. Spill your seed meaning ejaculate. Have you given turtle doves to priests or pastors like it says in the Bible?
No.
You haven't?
No.
I saw this excellent quote the other day. I'm not sure who it's from. I saw it in a comment section. But the gist of it was, it's against your religion, not mine. It's a sin for you to do that, not me. meaning that you cannot expect other people to abide by your religion, because for us, that does not exist, or at least in the mindset that you have of your religion, right? Because there's queer Christians who follow certain sects of the Bible. I mean, there's a lot of people who believe that man shall not lay with boy was in fact talking about pedophilia, not homosexuality, and there is a lot of evidence to support that. So when people say shit like this, like, oh my God, they're saying it's okay to be who you are in school. It is. Like, what do you mean? For you specifically, with the hatred in your heart and how you feel about it, don't do it. If you, in your fucking soul, believe homosexuality is a sin, do not partake. I mean, I think it's sad if, let's say, for instance, this man is in the closet and his life has been completely shattered by his religion. And I'm not saying that this man is, but as an example, I do think that is sad. But it is, at the end of the day, if you do not want to act on it, you don't have to, but you don't need to go around trying to ruin other people's lives and make the world a more unsafe place because you don't like it. I am gay, and I have nothing telling me that I can't or shouldn't, or that it's a sin, because I don't follow that. I don't partake in that. He said it's supposed to be Adam and Eve. For who? For you. Not for everyone else. Not how the rest of us feel. And this expectation that we're supposed to be upheld to your religion, not having it. And sorry, this is just the MAGA mindset, blame Joe Biden, just for everything. Joe Biden's making people gay. They're turning the frogs gay. Like, do you not see how ridiculous you sound? I mean, obviously they don't, but I do like that the interviewer kind of owned him at the end with his hypocrisy. And also, people who are this into the Bible are all cherry pickers at that point. They really are, because if you are that deeply into the Bible where you say homosexuality is a sin and therefore nobody can do it, here's a bunch of other random shit that's a sin that I do not think you take seriously, even though every sin is supposed to be as sinful as the next. It's just a bunch of bullshit to expect people to live how you live because that's how you want to live. Weird. I've never gone up to somebody and been like, you need to be gay now. Sorry, I view life as better being gay and I really enjoy myself being gay, so you should be gay, because I just think that morally we would much more align if you were also gay. Never done that. Doesn't happen. Clearly that one's not like outright homophobic, but I wanted to include it because it's showing, you know, more feminine men being a bad thing and more masculine women being a bad thing. And then it cuts to this man who could have just made an edit of himself if that's what he wanted. It's just confusing how you have to tear down other people who don't fit into your social norm to uplift yourself. If you wanted to just make a video where you were doing all that stuff, I'm sure it gets millions of views too. I'm sure if I went to that guy's page, I'm not gonna give him my time beyond what I'm doing here. I'm sure if you went to his page, he has millions of views doing those tricks and stunts he's doing in the gym, making an active choice to hate on feminine men or men who wear makeup. Some of the men in those clips are gay, some of them are not. It's just such a weird attitude to have. You could have just posted the fucking video. What you did was pretty impressive when you're doing that one arm and the saw and the coins. I mean, it was a little unnecessary, but I guess if you were a gym bro, it'd be pretty like, oh, that's super hard, dude. It's just, why didn't you just post that? I'm sure he honestly probably did post that separately, and it probably got hundreds of thousands of views. Like, it's just weird how people have to take people that are different than them and tear them down before they can try to build themselves up. But since that wasn't outright homophobia, we'll end with one more.
Gay as fuck. Y'all are. You be God. You be God. Hey. You be God. You be God.
I specifically wanted to include that video because I think it shows a look into the reality that a lot of queer people face, which is you can just be walking down the street, living your life, wearing a fun little outfit, and people will stop and do that shit to you. I have been called the D slur, rhymes with bike if you don't know, I don't think I could say it on YouTube, so many fucking times in my life just walking down the street because I am somebody who is very visibly queer, even more so a few years ago than I am now, if you can believe it. And it has happened to me so many times. I remember I was in Seattle and I was hanging out with my roommate and we were walking down the street and this guy asked me if I wanted to buy a hard drug, C-R-A-C-K, I don't know if I could say that, and I said no. And the first thing he did was call me the D slur and start screaming at me. I remember one time I was holding an ex-girlfriend's hand walking down the street in Denver and a man started calling us the D slur and the F slur and like walking at us. I remember I was just walking by myself down 16th Street in Denver and somebody called me the D slur. I remember when I was like 17, I was walking to my mom's office from my school and somebody peeled out of the school parking lot in a truck with his buddies and started shouting the D slur at me and throwing fucking bottles at me. And that's just a few times of when it's been outright slurs, right? Because there's the times I've been physically yanked out of restrooms. There's the time I've had an old lady scream at me. Like this is just the reality of living as a visibly queer person. And I grew up in Washington State and I now live in Colorado State, two of the most blue states you can probably think of, and that still happens to me there. So I cannot imagine living in a red state and going through that. It's very sad, it's very disappointing, and it's ungodly, because you hear those people screaming slurs, they call him the F slur, and they're telling him he needs to find God. What about that is godly? Because everything I have read about the Bible is about treating people with love and respect, regardless of a sin. Heavy quotes on that one. It's just disgusting behavior, and I don't know, with the way the world's looking right now, it's almost seeming like it's getting more normalized, which is a scary thought. But I think it's important we continue to look at these things and these behaviors and talk about them instead of just live with it. I mean, at least speaking about it feels like some kind of power back. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please like it. If you really liked it, consider subscribing. I also have a podcast where I talk about like supernatural stuff and conspiracy theories with my roommate. If you want to check that out, it's Cryptic Kepi on YouTube, and see you guys later. Bye.